A midweek giant killing at the Vitality Stadium, more finger pointing in Manchester, an MLS Cup disappointment for the locals, but plenty of optimism moving forward. What's up, guys? It's Dave and Diego with another episode of A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. Plenty of topics to cover this week, so don't go anywhere. All right, well, Diego, another week in the books. What have you been up to?
Not much, getting ready for the Christmas season and all the holidays coming up, and preparing for the most important day for us, Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. We have a big event going on, culminating with two major things for us. We will be obviously releasing our third iteration of Up the Cherries. This will be a cherry brown ale. We are working with some suppliers to get that shipped out nationwide and potentially into Europe for those of you interested. And then also we're putting a little bit of a charitable spin on Boxing Day this year. We're going to be working with Sparrow's Nest, a local charity that prepares and delivers meals to families that are going through cancer, chemo, diagnoses, treatment, stuff like that, that just don't have the finance or the health wherewithal to cook for them and their families. So a very noble cause that we're going to be working with this Christmas season, and we'll have more details on that as we go. But by all means, reach out, whether it's a food donation or a financial donation. We'd love to kind of pay it forward and
absolutely
give to those in this time of year.
And you guys know how we are at the brewery. We're all about the community. So, show your help, show your appreciation to us by collaborating and donating.
We appreciate it. All right, so let's jump right into it. Week abroad, plenty of Premier League action this week. We've had 2 match weeks truncated into 1 week. So the midweek matches as well as the weekend. We'll start off with our citizens. They finally get the taste of points again. Man City 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Goals from Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Jeremy Doku. And signed, sealed, delivered. So here we are. We're back.
And they looked a little better, but not quite yet. They're getting better. No, definitely for sure.
Not for anything. Nottingham Forest is not a team to overlook.
No, they're good.
I do think they will begin to slide down the table. Obviously, with a newer, younger squad, not used to years and years of Premier League action. They are going to take their lumps. They do currently sit 5th place, though, in the league. So, although their form lately has not been great, there's been a bunch of other teams that also are not in great form. So
it catches up to you, like the adrenaline and the momentum that you carry gets you so far, and it's a good step for Nottingham. But yes, they have a little bit ways to go to be steady on the top of it.
And on the heels of a City win. Newcastle United 3, Liverpool 3, so the league leaders have a falter as well. Again, making things interesting for the rest of the league.
Yes.
We called it last week and the week before that this is Liverpool's title to lose, and now things are getting a little bit closer. So, Isak scored in the 35th, Curtis Jones drew level in the 50th, Anthony Gordon in the 62nd, a pair of goals from Mo Salah late in the second half until Fabian Schär in the 90th minute to draw things level. It was a very exciting match.
Yes, it was opportunities on both ends. They all played pretty fast soccer.
They
played a very fast game that day. So it was one of those to remember for the weekend.
So, and as you mentioned, the weekend will roll right into our weekend matches. So on the heels of that draw, the first match of the weekend was a postponement due to Storm Dara. So the Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool did not go as scheduled. They will be working to reschedule that. So a draw and a missed match for Liverpool. We think this is the time to capitalize. And Man City held level at Crystal Palace, one of their bogey teams over the last 10 years.
Every time they play, they give them trouble. And you know what it is? Like I said, they looked good in the previous game, but they went right back to their same antics as soon as the weekend came
and they had to come back both times.
They were
in the 4th. Holland drew things level. LaCroix in the 56th, and then Rico Lewis, one of the new young stars, hopefully, of Man City. Brought things to 2-2. But
What do we say about
I don't
Manchester?
know.
It's
I
they
don't
need that
know.
midfielder. You know, that they're missing that midfielder.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, Rodri.
they
Yeah,
are
the loss of
trying to.
Rodri,
They're trying to replace that midfield position with people, but I don't know. He does tilt the
Yeah,
balance. He does tilt the balance in
for
favor of that.
them, I think more than any team in the league, this January transfer window is going to be very
Super
interesting. I don't know, obviously apparently there was a decision made on the
Yeah.
financial charges, so I don't know how that will impact what they can do in the window.
Yes.
But we'll see if they can kind of bring in some reinforcements
Yeah,
to
no,
offset the loss of Rodri.
They definitely need
They
to.
miss him
They
sorely.
definitely. And you know what? That actually kind of answers the question of why or did he deserve,
Oh yeah.
the Ballon d'Or.
Right.
Like, this
There has
proves it
been
right
no
here.
better evidence of him deserving the Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the state of their squad right
Of
now.
Manchester City right now. So hopefully he's not going to come back anytime soon, but when he comes back, hopefully things go back to normal. And Manchester City just got to write it out for
Right,
now.
yeah.
What else can they do?
So elsewhere in the league, Tottenham hosted Chelsea.
Oh, what a game.
What a game.
Woo.
A London derby. Chelsea, you and I both agree, has probably the best chance of challenging Liverpool.
Yes, right now, absolutely.
And it did not look good early. Dom Solanke, a Bournemouth alum, scored in the 5th minute. Kulishevsky in the 11th minute, so Tottenham off to the races, an early 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fell off. Jadon Sancho in the 17th, Cole Palmer, 61st minute penalty, Enzo in the 73rd,
They went
and
off.
then Cole Palmer a second penalty, a Panenka this time around in the 84th, to make it 4-2. Son Heung-min drew things closer in the 96th minute, and it did look like, in that last minute or so,
I was back and
Tottenham
forth.
did have the last push, but a 4-3 final, very exciting match, truly a game of two halves.
Yes.
And just action nonstop.
Yeah.
For the neutral, it was a great match to watch.
Yeah, no, and he finally shows Chelsea's resiliency. This is what we want to see this year from them. So they want to compete and they want to try to challenge Liverpool, like we're saying. So that was a great match for them. They showed great form. Like you said, two halves, but that was more because Tottenham was really dominating on the first half instead of Chelsea just giving the field away. No, the whole match, these two matches.
Cucurella slipping and falling twice to concede those goals didn't help.
Exactly. Those kinds of things happen.
Lit up on social media. Literally hours of being out on the pitch before the match starts.
Yeah, and you don't check
the wrong
yourself.
cleats.
Absolutely.
And he changed his cleats during the game,
and look what happened. Everything was okay afterwards.
That being said, with a match in hand now, Liverpool lead Chelsea by 4 points. So if they win that game against Everton, back to a 7-point lead.
Yeah.
But
right now we're talking hypotheticals. Right now Chelsea's on his heels.
And especially in a rivalry match, those points are nowhere near guaranteed.
Absolutely.
So obviously, most people would consider, I have the match in hand. It's easy.
We're good to go.
But, points in the pocket, as they say, are what you want.
That's absolutely true. And they need to keep it. They need to keep winning. They need to keep being positive on the results and watch out for Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh no, it's been.
They are the ones who maybe make it interesting.
Yeah. No, they've been a revelation under Enzo Maresca. He's the way he is managing just that squad size of 35, 36 guys has been incredible. They're getting well rotated in European play, in Cup play, in Premier League play. Cole Palmer is driving the ship, and
he is being a great leader, like you said. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, so elsewhere we will move to mid-table action. Obviously, our Cherries had a busy week as well. 3 matches in 8 days.
Ooh.
They did host Tottenham. Don Solanke's reunion.
Yeah, that's what I was
Choose the vitality.
Trying to go back, and they did really good.
And Bournemouth won 1-0. A Dean Howson score in the 17th minute, who parenthetically is the youngest player now in Bournemouth's Premier League history to score.
Oh, wow.
That
was a hell of a match.
It could have been more. It should have been more.
Strategically.
Tavernier could have had 2 or 3 goals. Dango could have had 1.
That killed me. Those Tavernier goals really destroyed.
That's been my knock on Tabs, for the last few years. He got, and he runs so hot and cold. he'll be just a world beater for 2 or 3 weeks in a row,
Yep.
and then
Then he's got
be
this
lucky to get
game.
him into the 18 because it doesn't happen.
No,
So
those
I'd like to see
missions.
more consistency out of them, but they're a good, young, exciting
Yes.
squad, and it showed.
No, and a big note of that Tottenham game, Tyler did
Tyler,
really,
Full
really
90,
good.
all over the place.
He was the man of the match. To my personal opinion, he was the man of the match with this recovery, with the pressure, and it wasn't unlike Bournemouth actually style of play. They were pressuring
No,
all the way up.
he is. You couldn't pick a better player or
Yeah.
style of play for Iraola's system
Yes, than him.
than what Tyler provides, and
Absolutely.
it's showing. He's obviously any tackle he goes into, any home run he
It's
makes, we all
terrifying.
kind of
Hold our
clench
breath.
our fingers and hope he's for the best. He had an interview over the weekend that he feels better than he ever has.
That's awesome.
This is obviously as a professional soccer player and the style and attitude that Tyler has, he's always going to bet on himself.
Yes.
So he was on record as saying this is just the beginning. This is
I'm ready to go
not
again.
the best that I can offer.
And that's a great attitude.
And you have to have it. You have to bet on yourself, when you are at that upper echelon.
Absolutely.
So we move into the weekend for Bournemouth. They did travel to Ipswich to play the Tractor Boys, and I personally thought it was going to be kind of a bait match.
Yeah.
They
The usual stuff.
their third match in a week
Yeah.
against a quote unquote lesser opponent, someone fighting to get out of the relegation spots.
Yes.
You're on the road. You're fatigued.
Yeah.
All these things going on. You have maybe a little bit of light towards the European places,
But they showed
and
up.
I thought this was gonna do them in.
Yeah.
They fell behind early. Connor Chaplin goal in the 21st. Once again, halftime adjustments. Some incredible substitutions from Iraola, and it should be noted that it's purely for rest. Tyler did not appear. He was
Yes.
not even on the roster for the game on the weekend. But that being said, at the 65th minute, I believe it was, Iraola brings on Enes Unal, brings on Dengo Tara.
And there you go.
We're trailing in the 87th minute, 1-0. Unal in the 87th, Dango in the 95th, and
Sometimes
if
that's when you put the
it were
players
for
in.
their win against Everton, I would say this is probably the most improbable victory in the league so far this year.
You are right, though. You are right. We all saw it and chalked it up as a loss already.
And I believe, I don't know where the stat came from, but I do believe they are now the only team in Premier League history to be trailing in the 86th minute and win twice.
Twice. Wow. These are comebacks here.
And we talked about it with the Everton match.
Yeah.
With the Everton match, with the Man City win, with the Arsenal win, with the Tottenham win.
Yeah. They know how to come back.
For a quote-unquote mid-table team to have this level of confidence, they're never out of it.
Yes.
They fight all the
Tooth and
time.
nail.
It really is. It's enlightening and liberating to just watch them because
100%.
again we've been fans of the game for literal decades, and there's always matches where something happens. All right, well,
He's done.
This one's done.
This one's done.
and that doesn't happen.
No,
with
you don't
Bournemouth
feel with
squad.
Bournemouth.
There is an aura around them that
There's always a
they're
chance.
dangerous to be around.
Absolutely. Hopefully, they keep climbing. Right now, they are actually in a kind of a good position.
They are
I think they're
in-
above Tottenham right now.
Yep, they're in 8th place, Tottenham's in 11th. And get this, Bournemouth on 24 are only 3 points out of Champions League right now.
Let's
3
go.
points behind Man City
Dude, that is
to get
amazing.
into Champions League spots.
That's going to be a hell of a season.
I
if that
have to
happens.
look, and maybe we'll check quickly on the break, and we'll do some live edition, which I've always been told never do math on live shows. But I got to see, I want to say there are 7 available spots, maybe only 6 available spots in Europe for Premier League teams.
Okay.
If it is 7, we are joint 7th. Actually tied with Brighton on goal differential.
Yeah.
It looks
Shout
like,
out to Mike.
yeah, they have. He was talking to me all weekend actually with the Lamptey goal and. So Brighton is ahead of Bournemouth due to, I believe, their goals for. That is the tiebreaker. So they're
Okay.
even on points, even on goal differential. Brighton has 25 goals for, Bournemouth only 23. So they're even on 24 points. Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest ahead of them in 5th and 6th place on 25 points.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Europe is, there was a glimmer of hope last year. That glimmer is, the sunlight is bursting through the door right now. This could be happening.
It's an exciting time to be at Bournemouth, man.
Is it good for Bournemouth? For their squad? I don't know. I think it's
got to be good just to see what you can do.
Right, but we saw it with Brighton, we saw it with Leicester, we saw it with Newcastle.
Yeah.
Squads that are not necessarily ready in terms of depth for European play.
Oh, you need to go.
They do take a hit in Premier League action the following year.
Well,
but you know what? It's a good problem.
It's what you exactly. It's a good problem to have. And what you prioritize. That's on the coach and the directors. Like at that point, do you try to stay steady on the league and try to go back to the championships again? And you're going to attack your Champions League, but at least you're there.
I think for them,
so
it depends on what tournament if they do get into Europe, which it is. Is it Champions League? Is it Europa League? Is it Europa Conference League?
Yeah, you're right.
Obviously, with that and the schedule, it's not necessarily just the matches, but where they're going for those away matches.
Yes.
If they have a relatively local set of matches, maybe they can push forward a little bit more.
Well, we'll see. But again, nothing but good news.
First world problems for little old Bournemouth here.
We'll talk about Bournemouth on the European Cups when they get there,
right.
ladies and
so
gentlemen.
That is going to do it for the first half of our show with our week abroad. We will be right back with 100 miles to home. Stick around. All right, welcome back to A Soccer Fan. Welcome to a bar. We are here, back home, literally and figuratively, 100 miles to home. Some huge action for one of our local squads, New York Red Bulls.
Yeah.
They defied the odds throughout, even the second half of the regular season.
Absolutely.
They kind of backed into a playoff spot. Surprised everyone by beating Columbus. Surprised everyone by beating NYCFC.
Yeah.
Surprise. Well, maybe not. When I say everyone, I don't mean Red Bulls because obviously
they all. I'm not gonna lie. I bet you some Red Bull fans.
Surprised the Red Bull fans. I think were
thrilled and shocked.
They were digging the coffin back in July.
Yes.
They surprised everyone by beating Orlando.
To
advance to the MLS Cup final, and they had a good showing. They ultimately lost 2-1 to LA Galaxy, who have kind of revived their aura.
Well, that was another team that nobody was expecting to actually make it all the way.
Yeah, one of the biggest turnarounds in MLS history, behind Greg Vanny, who has done an incredible job there. He won a title in Toronto as well.
Yeah.
But really, it was a tale of one player, and why am I forgetting his name now? I want to say Reyes. One of their center defenders, minutes before the match was due to kick off. Yes, here we are, Andres Reyes. Minutes before the match was due to kick off, he was scratched from the starting lineup due to an illness, and he reportedly got sick in the locker room. Was unable to go, and Noah Idle, who started a decent amount of the season, was the replacement for that. The problem is, you have a week of prep, and this was certainly not the card. Idle came in without a proper warm-up, and it showed. Galaxy was on the front foot right from the beginning. 2 goals in the first 13 minutes.
Yeah, and that was that.
And honestly, the only thing that held them was Galaxy starting to pull back a little bit. I don't know if they would have allowed it, but if they kept their foot on the gas, I think that match would have gotten ugly.
Yes, that was a reality, and that was sad though. But like we said, sometimes in a team player and a team setting, one player can disrupt.
Right. So Sean Neal's goal in the 28th minute off the set piece brought things back. It kind of second half was back and forth, wide open. Emil Forsberg had a couple gilded chances late in the match to draw things level.
And it was
I think for his sake, I think with the long-term injury that he had early in the season, I don't think he's a 90-minute player right now. And I think he kind of his legs fell out from under him. To put that together late in the season or late in the match rather.
One thing was funny though. This was one of the first finals that ever happened in the MLS back in the day. This type of games is New York Red Bulls and LA Galaxy. We haven't seen those finals in.
No, I mean Red Bull. I'm trying to think. Probably.
I think so. Somewhere around there was one of their finals. The last time they were over there.
08. I'm sorry. 08. They were in the final. They won 3 supporter shields. One of those, I believe, was with Tyler Adams. But yeah, they're an original franchise.
An original matchup. Something that we didn't.
So yeah, it's good to see. Obviously, as NYCFC supporters as well, we like the expansion teams too. But it is nice to see, obviously, 2 major markets, original franchises. Kind of the old school revival.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
All right. So again, congratulations to everyone involved with Red Bull on an incredible run. With an incredibly young squad.
Yes, good job.
There are plenty of places plenty of reasons to look up. I did also just hear a rumor that they are bringing in a Chilean player from Universidad de Chile. I have the up here. Where is that? Marcelo Morales, I believe the defender from Universidad de Chile, and that will potentially pave the way for a long-rumored transfer for Tolkien to leave. He's had plenty of suitors for a couple of years now, and obviously we also have multiple clubs within the Red Bull system for him to move to. So I am hearing that Tolkien is probably on his way out. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, listen, he gave a good time to the organization.
One of the bright young stars in the U.S. system as well. He's had some appearances with the international teams as well as the senior national team.
That's what we need, more Americans going abroad.
Kind of fill in the role and keep on trucking.
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it for 100 Miles from Home. Our week of watch parties will continue right now with what's on tap. We actually have one later this afternoon.
Yes.
Champions League is back.
Yeah, baby.
And Turin hosting Man City. Can Man City get back on the winning side of things as they travel to Italy?
Well, we'll see. Right now, it's a roller coaster. We gotta flip the coin and see what happens. But hopefully, they're gonna have a good show. Because if they don't, I don't know how the UEFA is gonna justify keeping them in the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
There's no way.
So right now, Juventus sits in 22nd place and Man City in 20th. So, both of these teams need points out of this. This will be
a do or die type match.
This is their 6th match for each of them. So again, a lot of moving parts, a lot of points needed, and then they need some help, obviously, from the teams above them to get into those guaranteed spots, which I don't think will happen. But
they're gonna have to play the extra games.
I think so.
But we'll see. I mean, they just need to turn around. That's all we need to see.
Especially, obviously, Champions League is important, but especially with what's on the horizon. Our next watch party, Sunday, late morning, 11:30. An incredible matchup. Not nice. An incredible matchup for Stein Sunday. So bring your Newberg branded Steins. Discounts on Stein refills. We do have some Oktoberfest Steins still in stock. So buy them, and then in perpetuity, for forever and ever and ever, until we are told otherwise, you will get discounts on those Steins on Sundays. So that brings us to the match. A Manchester derby. Manchester City hosting United.
Doesn't matter of the position on the table. This is going to be a great match.
Bring the popcorn. Bring everything. It always will be a great match. We've had some great crowds for it in years past. So that's Man City in 4th, Man United in 13th under Ruben Amorim. So, Man United needs some help also. They could potentially jump up to 11th with a win. Or, they're really kind of set themselves apart from what's below them. West Ham 1 point behind them, and then Everton is the next best team at 5 points behind them.
Yeah, no, they should be okay going down. They just gotta keep getting some results.
Yeah.
That's what you need
And
to
you know what?
happen.
Honestly, at this point, it would affect probably their transfer profile because big players want to be playing in Europe. But at this point, give Amorim the reins.
Let him do it.
See what
Yeah,
happens.
let him do what he needs to do.
Obviously, I can't imagine any scenario in which they get relegated. If they don't make Europe, I don't think it's the end of the world.
No,
Especially for a club like Man United. I know they won Europa League a few years back, but it's Champions League or bust.
Yes.
So if Man United are in Europa League or Conference League, I don't think that's a net positive for them. So just get everything in order for the sake of the league and just fandom. Soccer, whether you like them or not, soccer's in a better place when teams like Man United are playing.
No, absolutely. It's a tradition. It feels natural. It feels right the way it should be.
And then finally, we end our weekend with some Monday night football. So we will open specially for this match. Monday, 3 p.m., AFC Bournemouth hosting 14th place West Ham United.
Yes.
And again, that could
potentially
and when you play that Monday game, you have seen everyone else play.
Yeah.
So it will be extremely interesting to see, one, what the table looks like ahead of them.
Yeah.
And two, if things look favorable for them with an extra 3 points, how they come out and play.
Absolutely. Yes.
So they had their rush of matches with 3 matches in 8 days. They now have 8 days until their next match.
Recover.
So I expect everyone to be back. I know Sinisi is kind of nursing a little bit of an injury. I don't know if he'll be ready. But obviously you have to think Tyler will be back.
Oh, he must.
He must. I have not heard any rumors on what's going on with Sinistera. They seem the other.
It's all right. I think he was nursing a small little inconvenience in his body.
I think so.
He'll be back. My Colombian guy should be coming back soon.
The problem, and again, this is what we talked about under Iraola. This is a good problem
to have.
But Sinistera is no lock now to get back into even the squad, into the 18, let alone back on the field.
Absolutely.
Because everyone else has been playing well, and when you're fighting for Europe, every point matters.
Every single one.
It's going to be interesting to see that.
No, he's a good replacement. He can start, like you said, he doesn't have a place guarantee in the 18, but if he does, I can guarantee you he's going to be an asset from the bench. He's not going to get the starting job anytime soon, but he will. He will be okay coming out the bench, hopefully.
And it's a good spot for him to be in. He's got
absolutely
some electricity in him. I actually. There are certain players, and we've talked about this, that just whether or not they want to be, obviously nobody wants to be on the bench, but there are certain players that do better coming in off that role.
Exactly. They can adapt quicker to the game.
He has done that well for Bournemouth and for Colombia over the years.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to have a back in Colombia. There is a lack of scoring right now. So let's not because I gotta go back up to
actually my in-laws will be going down to Colombia for the holiday season. I think this week or next week, and I already put my request in for jerseys and scarves and everything. So I will have some new fresh gear early 2025, all the Colombian teams.
Yes, sir.
So my one for the road. First of all, do you have anything?
No.
All right. So my one for the road is, and it's interesting because it's very uncommon in the European game. Obviously, us, with American sports, we're used to the retiring of numbers. Rarely, if ever, happens, for European clubs. But Bayern Munich will be retiring the number 5 jersey in honor of Franz Beckenbauer.
Totally deserved.
Oh, absolutely. Completely deserved. He has been was a stalwart for Bayern Munich. 427 appearances for them between 64 and 77 before coming to the Cosmos. He also managed Bayern Munich in 2 separate stints. He's also, probably among the best player ever in the German system.
Absolutely. Him and Matthaus back in those days, the anchors. So no, he deserves it. Personally, I think well done for Bayern. Like you said, it's not a common
And
thing
he
to
did,
do.
those of you that don't know, he did pass away early this year in January, so.
But yes, exactly.
Posthumous. Yeah, you got it.
Posthumous. I got it.
I know, you translate in your head sometimes.
Yes, too many languages at the same time. But no, it was well deserved, but it was good on them. Good on them to do that and recognize, like you said, one of their staples, one of their most important players.
He won, and I'm gonna run down some of his stats. He won the Bundesliga 4 times for Munich. He won the German Cup 4 times for Munich. He won 3 consecutive European Cups as a captain for Munich. He won the NASL 3 times with the Cosmos. He came back to Germany with Hamburg and won the Bundesliga again.
Oh, yeah, no, he was a winner.
He was a World Cup winner in '74, runner-up in '66, third place in 1970. He won the Euros in '72, runner-up to the following tournament in '76. He won the World Cup with West Germany as a manager in '90, and was runner-up the time before. As a manager, was a third-place finisher in the Euros. He won Ligue 1 with Marseille. He won the Bundesliga and the UEFA Cup in a coaching stint with Bayern Munich. One of the few defenders who's ever won Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
I mean,
no, the list goes on
and goes on and on and on. Named one of the 100 greatest players in soccer history. By FIFA. For me, the only better defender, and obviously I'm a bit of a homer with my AC Milan, is Paolo Maldini. But you can't go wrong with
either. No, thank you, Bob. Like you said, he was one of my guys when I was growing up playing center back, in my youth. And rest in peace, and all the honors that you can get are totally well deserved.
It's a nice thing to do. Actually, I think it'll almost be coinciding with exactly 1 year from his death. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
I imagine.
But yeah, no, great thing for Munich to do, and we look forward to seeing some of those festivities. Not really the right word, but for the honor.
They are. It's a celebration
of
his life.
career.
Exactly.
And that'll do it for us. Give us a follow, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube.
All those good things.
We are gonna start messing around with uploading our broadcast to YouTube in video form. So stay tuned for that. We'll obviously, just like any other endeavor we do, there'll be some hurdles to start.
Absolutely.
But we love your support. We appreciate it. We'll see you.
And listen, give us your opinions. What can we do better? How can we
comment
do
on the
it better?
videos, give us a like, subscribe, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
We try to get back to every single comment. Stay tuned for more information on our Boxing Day event. Give Sparrow's Nest a look up if you are local to our area here. They do an incredible job with that, and they could use your support as could us. So that does it for us this week. We will catch you either upstairs in the tap room for our watch parties or right back here next Wednesday.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.